Hey everyone, Jeremy here. Welcome to another episode of Dungeoneered. This week we're getting back to dungeons, and we're going to take a look at an icy dungeon from the Dungeon Maker. Now, a lot of dungeons haven't been made recently, and I think it's because people are holding off in anticipation of being able to take actual player characters into the dungeons. This one's called Far, Far Away by Tytus. It was published 170 days and 16 hours ago. I'm looking under Hall of Fame under overall style. It's got about 51 likes. It's a few pages in, but then again, a lot of the token runs are winning out. But as I was saying about the player characters, I think a lot of the creative types will probably go crazy once the level agnostic system is put in, and that's something SOE's talked about recently with the EverQuest II. They are going to add this new system to allow not only player characters, but parties of player characters of all varying levels, and somehow it's all supposed to balance out. Right away we've got two bosses. Shiva and Jack Frost. This is neat here. I've never seen these before. And they have this message when you scroll over them. Goblin appears to have been frozen rather quickly. Yeah, I've never seen this one before, this piece of furniture. I'm not even... My guess is it's special. I don't know. So definitely the icy motif going on for Far, Far Away. When I first read Far, Far Away, I thought for sure it was going to be a Star Wars theme, but so far it's just an icy theme. And there's a definitely a cool decorating job so far, and they've gone crazy. All the walls are covered. I think those are just ice dividers, and then of course the floors are partially covered here with some kind of tiles. There's the icicle kind of doorway. Icicles covering the doorway. So a lot of decorating going on here to give the theme, and the mobs are named. So we have a lot of winter maidens. So here's something. Some bushes put in. Looks like some snow flurries up ahead. I'm going to zoom in because I can see these things already. I think something's attacking me. The abominable snowman. Snowmen. Looks like there's quite a few in here. Yeah, there's some walking around in the background. Looks like I just aggroed a bunch. Ah, there's that tap targeting. That's kind of glitchy. I see I see another one already back there. I gotta heal up here because seems like quite a few of those guys hiding around in this room. Alright, time to take a peek inside. The big bad wolf. Okay. Oh man. Does that mean this is Little Red Riding Hood? That's, what a terrible fate. Yeah, so far it's really, really decorated. And it's sticking to this cold theme. Oh, more doors here. This is cool. This is all player added. Fairy Godmother, Prince Charming. We've got like a fairy tale motif going on here. Uh-oh. What's with this? Might not make it. And I wiped. I almost made it. So here we are, back at the beginning. Prince Charming did me in. He's like, get away from my woman. Gingy, there's one of those other things I aggroed. Something tiny little thing. Ugly stepsister. He's in a Cyclops. And with three little pigs, huh? Yeah, that's all of a sudden it's turned into a fairy tale theme kind of thing. I don't know. Fairy tale with a bar full of kegs. See, definitely some decorating going on here. I mean, the walls are totally covered. There's doors and this whole little area over here, bar area. Not too bad. This is definitely some kind of a little club hangout for the ne'er-do-wells. Uh-oh. I got careless. Who do we have? 3 blind mice? It's going to be crazy interesting to see what happens to all the existing dungeons that have been around forever once the level agnostics go in. I don't know if they plan on... I don't think it works like regular... Whoa, look at that guy. Fluffy. It works like regular mechanics, so... I'm guessing they can just implement it. But a lot of dungeons have been around for the better part of a year now. Like this one, I believe, what would we say, over 70 days? I've seen others 120 plus that were really well decorated. So I'm wondering if those people are going to go back in and redecorate to maybe change the mobs around, if they'll need to to readjust for difficulty levels once player characters can go in, and multiple player characters of varying levels. Ooh, a lot of mobs here. I forget the name of these tiles on the floor. Some kind of mirror tiles, but I think they're a specialty tile, and they've used an awful lot so far in this dungeon, so it must have taken quite a while to collect all this stuff. Okay, we'll just have to go around and make sure this room is cleared out. So far the ceilings look like they've been untouched, but not a lot of people are always looking up anyways, so... I think the dungeon maker is really going to come alive once that talked about level agnostic system, however it works, is implemented and gets and kicks in. I think it's going to make all the difference in the world once players can take player-made characters in. Because right now, I think the one glaring issue is that everything has to be set on a baseline of difficulty. Everything's kind of preset to level 50, and there's not a lot of variance with that. So far, the mobs haven't been outrageously hard to fight here, except that one area, which is kind of like a midway point, so it's kind of neat if you compare it to like an actual developer-made dungeon. What's got here? Oh, got some stuff up there. Looks like a drake. Looks like a bunch of stuff. This is the final room, so. Looks like I just aggroed a bunch. That's alright. Ogre babies. Yeah, so the community's chomping at the bit. They've been hinting more and more recently, you know, that this change is coming. So I think everybody really feels that the change is coming soon. Oh, this is a big one. Those are all plushies. They're called plushies in here. They're basically replicas of mobs that have a little animation effect. Usually just to decorate the house, or the dungeon in this case. Puss in No Boots, huh? And then we got Shrek up above him. And Princess Fiona. So definitely Shrek, huh? Puss in No Boots though, huh? Oh boy, I gotta go for Shrek here, because he's the boss. I think this person is definitely a veteran player to have accumulated all this stuff, especially if these floor tiles are what I think and they're a specialty item. Let me make sure there isn't any more. Looks like it. So we'll head out here, we'll tally up our points and see. And I'll give my little opinion. Whoa, level up. Yeah, definitely action style. This was a really good dungeon. Nice, small map. $25 dungeon marks for that. Not a lot, but it is a small map, and it was it seemed to be a little heavy on the story side, which I always like. Let's go back to the Dungeon Maker window to see it. Again, its owner Tytus published 170 days ago. It's gotten quite a few awards, 51 likes, under style overall. So, even this dungeon that we went through, like, it'll be interesting what happens. What happens to the difficulty level when the level agnostics kick in and we can use player characters? I mean, is that same dungeon that was fairly easy for me to solo with Avatar, is it going to suddenly be like really, really hard? And then things like the effect objects that can add poison effects and make the enemies a level or two stronger or weaker. How much stronger and weaker will they appear from the previous state, from the regular state, when you add those effect objects? I mean, right now, they don't really seem to change much. You can add an effect to a mob, and it's like, okay, when you fight it, it's like, okay, he did poison me, but it did very little, so it's like there wasn't much of a change. It's not always that way, which is odd, because right now the dungeons do scale, but they scale depending on how many people go into the same dungeon at the same time. So if I went in with 3 other people, and we all went into this dungeon I just did, the mobs would have been harder, because it's trying to scale for the amount of us that have entered. But the dungeon agnostics is supposed to be much more complex, or I guess use a better algorithm, more, to give more flexibility and detail. But that's going to do it for this episode of Dungeoneered. You can always email me. I need to get an email. You can always find me on Twitter at Jeremy_Stratton. I'm on Google at Jeremy Stratton. My website's justonemore.com, spelled MMORE. All those links and more will be in the description box below. And I'll see you guys next Friday.